Hi, my name is Sandra Grossman, and I'm a partner at the immigration law firm of Grossman, Young, and Hammond. This video is the second part of a series we're producing on what to do if you get stuck in the United States temporarily because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The video will also be reproduced in Spanish. Commentary that I provide here should not be taken as legal advice in any particular case. We do recommend that you meet with a qualified attorney if you're unable to comply with the terms of your tourist visa due to the global health emergency. We've seen the issue of getting stuck in the United States come up more frequently with our clients as the pandemic has caused widespread disruption to daily lives, as well as interfered with travel plans. Recently, for example, we consulted with a business person who had arrived to the US on a temporary visa. His intent was to attend some conferences in the US, as well as some business meetings, and then return to his home in Africa. Nevertheless, due to the fear of exposure, he did not feel comfortable boarding the long flight home. Similarly, another individual I consulted with entered the United States as the domestic employee of another foreign national, and she was actually unable to find return flights to Venezuela and Colombia. The first thing to note when you're in this situation is that you must seek previous authorization from USCIS to extend your stay. If you don't do that and you stay beyond the expiry of your valid tourist visa, for example, you will start to accumulate days of unlawful presence in the United States. The consequences of this are very serious. If you're present in the United States for more than 180 days without any valid status, leave the United States and then try to come back, you trigger what's called the 3-year barred admissibility, which means you'll not be eligible to return to the United States absent a waiver for 3 years. The same holds true if you're in the US for more than 1 year without status, then you'll be inadmissible, again, absent a waiver for a period of 10 years. So the first thing I would recommend is that you check very diligently when your non-immigrant status expires by looking at the date stamped by U.S. Customs and Border Protection upon your entry to the United States. You can also look up your lawful record of admission, also known as your I-94 form, on the U.S. Customs and Border Protection website. This website is www.i94.cbp.dhs.gov. So if you find yourself in this position, your I-94 is expiring and you simply can't leave or have valid reasons for being afraid to leave, USCIS does allow for an extension of status and change of status on Form I-539. I'm going to only discuss extension of status in this video, not change of status. And so you should be clear on which type of relief you're looking for. I'm also going to focus mostly on tourist visas. So there are many requirements. You know, the most important piece of advice I can give is to check out USCIS's website and the instructions on Form I-539 at www.uscis.gov. The first thing you have to do is you have to submit your extension of stay before your current authorized stay expires. USCIS suggests on its website that you file at least 45 days before your stay expires. But of course, we recognize that such advanced planning is not always possible. There are limited exceptions available to you if you're unable to file while you're still in status. For example, if you got sick and you were in the hospital or you were very ill, that might qualify as an exception. But overall, you should know that the request for an extension will be denied if you fail to file it while in valid status. You can also include family members like your spouse and unmarried children under the age of 21 in your request for an extension of stay. And then if you're filing for an extension of status as a tourist, you must file the application with I-94s for both yourself and all of your family members. You also have to file a written statement explaining in detail the reason for your request, the reasons why your extended stay would be temporary, and any effect that the extended stay might have on your foreign employment or residency. In other words, the USCIS wants to make sure that you are planning to return to your home country after your period of extended stay has expired. So, for example, if you're unable to book flights home or have an illness that makes you especially susceptible to COVID-19, you would also want to provide records from airlines, a doctor's letter, basically advising you not to travel, and as much other evidence as possible showing compelling reasons for your request. There are also many other documentary requirements for persons holding temporary U.S. visas. Here again, look at USCIS's website. When adjudicating these applications, USCIS is also going to take account of something called the public charge rule. Basically, this rule has applied to persons filing for extensions of status since February 24th, 2020. And the rule requires that all applicants for an extension of stay report certain information related to public benefits. Because of that, we also recommend submitting additional substantial evidence showing how you and your family members are going to financially support yourself while you're in the United States. This evidence would include things like account statements, evidence of property ownership so that you can show that you have a place to stay, or personal assets, just showing that you're financially able to remain here in the US. So again, if you can't leave or are afraid to leave the US because of circumstances out of your control, filing Form I-539 and the related evidence that we've discussed may be an option for you. There's certainly no guarantee that your application will be positively adjudicated, but if properly filed and documented, you have a chance of obtaining the extension of stay that you're looking for. These are certainly difficult times, and we would hope that USCIS will positively exercise broad discretion in COVID-19 related requests. That's it for now. Please stay healthy and safe. Thank you.